I'm Llewellyn King of MECFS Alert, and I'm in the gorgeous, utterly, unbelievably beautiful location of Incline Village, Nevada. Sadly, it is also the place where back in 1984 there was an outbreak of CFS, and that outbreak was one of the seminal events because it led the Center for Disease Control to come up with the name chronic fatigue syndrome. Previously it had been called by its old name, myalgia encephalomyelitis. It's almost as though this is all a Gothic novel with this deep secret back there. And yet there are heroes, as there are heroes in Gothic novels, and one of the heroes here is Dr. Dan Peterson, who has been treating patients relentlessly, with enormous endeavor, with great effort, with great imagination, always pushing the envelope of research here at Incline Village. And now he has a special institute to help him, the Syneron Research Institute, founded by his patients who have great gratitude to him and are so glad of him. It's very difficult for me to talk to any of them without them coming up with mentions of just unfailing gratitude for that part of their life that they've been able to get back because of Dan Peterson. One of those patients is Anita Patton. Anita, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
How long have you been sick?
I have been sick for 25 years.
And you're a mother, you have 3 children. That must be very difficult.
Yes, I was already sick when I had my first child, but I was 24 when I came down with a viral illness that I was struck suddenly. So different people have different ways of having come down with it. Mine was very sudden on a certain day, and within 2 weeks I was unable to walk. I was very, very ill, and the doctors at that time just thought that I had the flu. Well, I indeed had the flu, but it never left, and it hit harder than any flu.
Were you married then?
I was married. I had been married already 3 years at the time, and I was actually working full-time to put my husband through graduate school, and came down and was unable to work. And because it was the rug ripped out from under me at that time, I looked at the possibility of having a baby just for the sake of, I refused to quit living, and if there was only one thing I could do in life, it would be to have a baby. And the doctors at that time were diagnosing me with polymyositis or myasthenia gravis, things like that, whatever treatment they gave me didn't work. So I was very frustrated with the medical community, their unbelief, their rudeness toward a patient. There was no support, no help out there.
Where were you living?
In Denver, Colorado. The things that they tell you to do, like exercise, make you worse. So I was distraught and really just spent my time reading my Bible. The only reason was because it was the only book that would hold itself open. You didn't have to hold open. Unable to watch TV, unable to visit with people, so that was all I did. Isolated myself, and I came up with a plan to have a baby. Now, at the time, if I'd have known, I probably wouldn't have had a baby, because entering a chronic illness in children, it's not a great match for either one. But at the time, I got a little better because of being pregnant. So I had 3 children, straight back to back, pregnant or nursing for 6 years straight. During that time, I was quite a lot better. In effect of it raises your blood pressure, your hormones change, and I was also living a very sedentary lifestyle that I just cut back.
What had been your career before you were struck?
I was a secretary, word processor, typing.
Have you been able to work at all since?
No.
What therapies have been helpful?
I've been on Ampligen and antivirals, but we have so much trouble with inflammation, and every organ is affected by it. So each of the systems, the gut, the bladder, the brain, in inflammation, you have to have things that try and take that down. Those are just treating symptoms, medicine to sleep. The problem with Ampligen is it is so very unavailable to so many people, and that we have been working for so long to try and get it approved or have any approved therapy for CFS. And it's troublesome to me to watch so many people be so ill and no availability, no access to a medicine that could help them. So I write frequently, the president, the FDA, the NIH, just anyone I can. I think it helps me cope because I want to see other people have the same accessibility to medicine.
Did you move to Nevada to be close to the clinic?
Actually, I first became a patient of Dr. Peterson in 1996, so 11 years after I had first become ill, and after I had a huge setback when I quit nursing my youngest child. Huge setback, unable to care for the children, unable to take care of myself. And so that was a family crisis. And we had to hire people to take care of the children, people to take care of me, and my husband was then, at that time, he moved to Reno for a job, lost his job because he was spending so much time taking care of me. At that time, it wasn't a medically believed disease in a sense that you could say, oh, I need to help my wife get treatment for chronic fatigue syndrome. You know, all of your family, all of your society, all of your friends, your neighbors, people degraded it for years. They don't believe people. They don't have anything to pin it on. So they say, do you want to be sick? You know, it's atrocious. We've watched at the same time, around 86 when I was ill, the unfolding of AIDS. And yet those people eventually there was compassion geared towards them in society at the emergency room. And those things have been very slow to progress for CFS. And this illness by far is the worst suffering, the worst physical suffering, but emotional suffering because of the isolation, lack of treatment, no approved therapy for the disease. It's difficult.
In your head, how do you manage to get through every day?
It's a system. Now I'm on treatment now, so today is different than 6 months ago or a year ago. I have a roller coaster life. When I get an infection, I go down, and nothing is helpful in a sense that if I get a bladder infection by that afternoon, I will be unable to walk, even on Ampligen. So I have a roller coaster. I think of myself, I tell myself, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. I get to get well over and over again because when I go down, I go fast and I go flat. And yet, when I get a treatment like an antibiotic or antiviral, you know, whatever the case may be, then I have the energy to do the things to help myself get better.
Tell me, what does your husband do?
He's in healthcare. He's a consultant. So he's done a lot of various different things around.
He must be a saint.
Well, I think he's been incredibly supportive in raising the children because for the most part he did it alone. I did what I could, but you know, he never left. So I say that's a blessing. He believes that I'm ill and tries to help me and take care of me. So those are wonderful things.
I hope it all comes well for you and all these other patients. Your speaking out, I know, helped some of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you would like to sponsor MECFS Alert, please contact us at mecfsalert@gmail.com. Help us to help you.